back into the history of the Madeira Sugar Pine Lumber Company down into the Sierra National Forest. So for the next hour, sit back and enjoy your ride in the logger. We'll ask you to please remain seated, keep your hands inside the cars, and hold on to your tickets. I'll check them on the way back. Locomotive number 10 is the only one allowed to smoke this morning.
카메라나 다 쓰는 거야? 이쪽으로 가나 봐? 저로 간다고? 이쪽 가나? 우리가 출발 그래? 이쪽으로 돌아오는 거 그렇구나. 오케이. 아 뜨거워. 아 맛있는 냄새 나네. 맛있는 냄새 나지? 아 냄새 죽이네.
이번 영상은 별로 잘 안 나오는데.
On the spur to the left, you'll see an old snowplow, oil tanker car, gravel dump cart, small switching engine, and a speeder. These, along with our 2 steam locomotives and most of our rolling stock, including all the cars we're riding on, were purchased from the Westside Lumber Company in Tualatin, California, about 100 miles north of here. They had operated a steam logging company right up until the early 1960s. Logging began here in the Central Sierras in 1874 with the California Lumber Company. Then in 1899, the Madeira Sugar Pine Lumber Company started their operation. They became one of the largest and most profitable lumber companies in the West. When they voluntarily went out of business in 1931, they scrapped all their equipment, lifted up all their tracks. After our purchase from Westside in 1965, we hauled the equipment down here and relayed the tracks on one of the oldest spurs used by the lumber company, 1908 till 1924. In a moment on the left, you'll see a power pole, and you can look out across the canyon and see Mount Raymond, a little over 8,500 feet. Give you an idea of the scope of the operation of the lumber company. This was just one of many spurs they used. It went to the base of that mountain. They would log up to the tree line, bring the logs around the mountain, back down this spur into the canyon below. During their operation, they logged more than 30,000 acres. And in those days, they did clear cutting. Okay. But they cut down almost all the trees, didn't replant. So the trees we're seeing in the forest today are relatively young, 100 years of age or so. But they're all descendants of the 2 trees left over by the lumber company. The Sierra National Forest is made up of a lot of different types of trees, but in this area there's 5 primary trees. The first one I'm going to talk about is the California black oak. They weren't used too much by the lumber company for lumber, but they were used to fuel all their steam locomotives, donkey engines, and the mill was entirely steam operated. But for centuries before, the Native American Indians, which would be the Miwok tribe, would gather the acorns, grind them up, and then soak them in a creek for a couple of days to remove the tannic acid. Once dried, they're one of the main sources of protein in their diet. On our trip, we're going to see some trees that look a little bit like sequoias. They'll be the ones with the rough, reddish-looking bark. These are incense cedar trees. Some of them look like they've been burnt. That's a powder mold that's growing on the bark because there's not enough sunlight getting through to burn it off. Doesn't seem to harm the trees nor the
동영상
lumber when it's
뒤에도 물고
harvested.
있어봐. 그대로 전진하는 쪽으로. 아빠.
The trees with the 1-inch needles spaced evenly along the horizontal branches are called white fir. They're related to the red fir that grow at higher elevation.
뭐요?
You
동영상
probably recognize
이쪽으로
them
찍을
as
수 있나?
Christmas trees.
이쪽으로.
아니
된다고?
그건 안 되지.
다시 끄고.
아니